What is going on, everybody? The Bills are 3-0 after a 47-10 absolute thrashing, complete domination of the Jacksonville Jaguars here in Buffalo Monday Night Football. Got a good show for you guys lined up tonight. Actually, a joyous show after that big win. Shocking a lot of people, as you can see by the title that we have tonight. Starting off, Allen has overrated Bills 3-0. ... Well. Got my co-host in the middle with me, James Mallory. James, what's up? Later in the show, we will be joined by our guy, our offensive analyst, we'll call him, Devon D. Jones. So we'll bring him in and talk about the offense and what he's seeing from Joe Brady. But J. Mal, what is there to say?
Them boys is balling. I told you, JT. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you. You know how, listen, I gotta say it. I told you so.
Yeah.
They playing together. They playing team football, man. That's what they are. 3-0, man. Like, these dudes are taking care of business. They're doing it just every way. They've won three different ways.
Yeah.
Right? They faced adversity, came back and beat an Arizona team, which I told you in the first quarter of the season, that was the game that worried me the most, that Arizona. So, bounce back, week 2, take care of business, and week 3, dominate. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. I'm just hoping that we can continue this trend and, take care of business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's so much just the win. It's the dominating fashion they won in the last 2 weeks. I mean, think about it. They beat Jacksonville Jaguars, who's supposed to be a team that was supposed to make some noise last year, and they said, okay, we're going to give them a look, and everyone's come back this year. And the Miami Dolphins, who a lot of people had contending with the New York Jets for the AFC title, not the Bills. And you're talking about 2 weeks back-to-back, a combined score of, I believe it's 78-20.
Yeah. Like it's a pure domination.
Yeah, that's pure domination. And that's not the fashion that this Bills team has normally won under Sean McDermott. We've had stretches, but this is I would say, is much unexpected from probably the analyst standpoint that the team is dominating. And we're going to talk about the offense efficiency, especially when we get deep down on here a little later, and what they're doing with this Joe Brady offense. But let's just talk about Josh Allen a little bit. Last night, another great game from Josh, as he let's see what he had here last night. Another 23 of 30, 76 pretty much 77% completion percentage, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he added another 44 rushing yards off 6 carries. And he didn't even play most of the fourth quarter. Okay, that is as efficient as you can get. This is what Sean McDermott has been looking for the past couple of years, and the coordinator who could, make the game easy for him, let him not risk injury, and not necessarily turn him to the gunslinger. Could keep it controlled football, time of possession, limit the turnovers, and ultimate that side of the field efficiency and operation. What did you see from Josh Allen last night, man?
What I seen from Josh Allen is pure efficiency. And what I like about it is he doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times a game to make a huge impact, right?
Right.
Joe Brady's doing a great job. He's doing what you've been saying for a long time, JT. What McDermott has wanted is a running game. And using that game to open up the pass.
Yeah.
And he's done that. You have Cook running the ball. You have you got Cook running the ball. We got Ray Davis running the ball efficiently. Ty Johnson chipping in. And obviously with Josh Allen running the ball. And now, as you see, Curtis Samuel actually got a carry last night.
Looked a bit healthier.
Yes. So I really, really like what they're doing right now, because it's like, think about it, JT. In these first 3 games, right? What do you do? How do you stop this offense? Like, seriously. Like, running game. Okay, that's generic, right? If you say, oh, slow the running game down. Well, how are you going to do it? Are you going to focus on Josh Allen, right? Are you going to focus on Cook? Are you going to like what we focusing on here, right? Passing game, you got everybody contributing somehow, some way. It was 10 or 11 different receivers you completed a pass to, right?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy when you think about that. That's just insane. So if you got everybody contributing in that way, that makes this offense really, really difficult to defend. I'm super, super excited what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, another game where, I mean, if we can just go through just a few of these offensive stats. And I'm more or less just the team stats. Okay? 25 first downs last night for the Bills. They only ran a total of 60 plays compared to the Jaguars' 68. 388 total yards. 6.5 yards per play. Okay? Rushing is only 4.2 yards per carry. Time of possession, 31 minutes and 40 seconds to Jacksonville 28-20. That, I mean, you don't get much better than that. And I think they scored on, what was it, the first 5 drives they scored a touchdown?
First 4 drives was touchdowns.
Touchdown, and then the other was field goals. Listen, you can't get much more than that. I would say this. I don't know how much Allen is using the overrated talk before the season as fuel, but what are you thinking there?
I'm thinking that he's using, honestly, I hate to say this and sound like the media, the national media, but I think he's using Stefon Diggs as motivation and proving that he can be productive and be a baller without Stefon Diggs. I really, really believe that that was new motivation for him, the way Diggs acted, like, hey, I'm that dude, right? I don't need him to be an elite quarterback. Right. I can make people around me better. That's what makes an elite quarterback. You elevate the player to people around you.
Right.
And right now, that's what he's doing, right? Mac Hollins, like, whoever would have thought he would contribute to the passing game, right? It's like...
Actually, I did.
You did. You did. You said that early in the game. I
said that was a valuable signing.
Mm-hmm. You did. That you did, JT. 100%. I didn't believe it, like, he would contribute that much, but he's been part of the passing game, right?
Right.
And when you think about it, MVS, he's our number 5 right now.
Right.
You can still use that dude to be dangerous. You know what I mean? Like,
and they have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he hasn't had that game where he was the lead dog yet in regards to just receiving yards.
Right.
So I think he's using that as motivation. The Stefon Diggs thing is motivation.
And just a little off topic here. And I'll just say this about Josh. I think that we're seeing what Terry Pagula wanted to see, turning this team over to him, taking the leadership away from Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, some of those guys, and turning that leadership into Josh Allen. We just talked about the subject 2 weeks in a row. And I think now we're seeing what the Bills brass wanted to see, what Sean McDermott wanted to see. Yes. Listen, you're the voice of this offense. You're the leader of this offense. Run it. Be efficient. Be safe. Be smart. And I think he's running it to a T right now. And obviously, in 3 games, the Bills' offense made it look easy. I put it this way. I have not seen the Bills' offense look this good since the pandemic year. It has not run this smooth since the pandemic year when there was no fans in the stands and they were just smooth operate going against NFC West. Mm-hmm. And luckily, what's funny is we're going against NFC West again this year, but I have not seen it run this efficiently. But moving on, I want to talk about something really quick here. Let's see. Kyle Yeager says he isn't using the overrated talk. He's definitely using Stefon Diggs. Remember that tweet where someone said Allen don't need number 1 to be successful? And Diggs retweeted, "You sure? It got to be fired from him, plus the continued media narrative." And that's what I say. I think the media narrative is definitely driving this home. I think it's not even driving home. I think it's driving the whole organization. Yeah. As they are supposed to take this step back or whatever. We'll see what happens. It's still a long season. But I do want to talk about one topic before we bring D out in and talk about Joe Brady and what Joe Brady's actually doing here on offense. Now, after the game, Josh Allen made a statement. And, of course, the media took it and they ran with it. And I don't know. I'm going to get your opinion on it. I don't know if you've seen it yet. But they're a perceived shot at former receiver Stefon Diggs. So in his press conference last night, he said, "It's a fun and wonderful thing when you got a bunch of guys that don't care about the stats. They don't care about the touchdowns. And again, I think throughout practice, we've just had this mindset of, hey, let's just do things the right way and find ways to win football games. And that's what we're doing right now. That's the statement that the media is trying to take and say, hey, is this a shot at Stefon Diggs? Now, I know what my opinion on it, but I want to get yours.
It was a shot at I don't think it was just Diggs. I don't think it was just Davis, right? I think it was just, in general, like, there has probably been some selfish people brought in over the last couple of years, right? And you could be selfish in different ways. Think about last year during training camp. Diggs was pushing for Gabe Davis to get paid. Tomorrow he's a number one. Then the mic drop stuff and all this other extra stuff, right? They're doing all of that. And when you kind of think about it, man, I think it was just shot. I don't really want to say it was a shot, but that is how he felt, right? And I don't think it was like he specifically was saying Diggs, right, or Davis. It probably is just selfish people in general.
So this is what I think. I don't think it was a shot at either guy. Personally, I don't think it was a shot either. I think he was just talking. I think the media is taking this and running with it and making this something. We know that we play the Texans in 2 weeks. Okay? Marketing is marketing. Business is money. We get it. Everybody got it.
I don't know why they didn't make that a night game. That's crazy.
They should have. Too early to flex in the season, but I bet that if they could go back, they probably would change that. This is the thing. If you know anything about Josh, I don't think he would take a shot at Stefon Diggs. And I damn sure would think he would take a shot at Gabe Davis. You saw those two before the game yesterday. Okay? He's not going to take a shot at Gabe Davis. That's not... Him and Gabe ain't got that type of relationship. Now, what I will say is this. If it was a shot, and once again, JTM does not believe it was, then he's a hypocrite. Because I'm not saying Josh has ever cared about touchdowns or stats, but at some point in time, you cared about what Stefon cared about. You cared about what Gabe cared about. And you guys operated this offense in that way with a toxic Brian Dable and with a reluctant to fight you back Ken Dorsey. So this is why I don't think it was a shot at all. I think the guy was just talking. He was talking football. Listen, these guys, it's basically what he said. Everyone eats. That's not a shot at anybody. What it is saying is that, hey, we don't have a clear-cut number one. We don't have a Stefon Diggs. We don't have a Devontae Adams. We don't have a Jamar Chase. We don't have a Justin Jefferson. But we got a bunch of guys who are going to play hard and do everything the right way. It just reminds me of the early 2000 Patriots, before Moss, before Welker, when you had guys like Deion Branch, David Patton, and David Gibbons, and Patrick Pass, who just got arrested for hitting the old man at Planet Fitness. So if you're in Planet Fitness, Patrick Pass, the old fullback. So if you're in Planet Fitness and you're anywhere near Patrick Pass, don't piss him off. He'll punch you in the face. It doesn't matter how old you are, okay? Just I'll throw that in there. Just got arrested the other day. Okay, it just reminds me of the old Patriots mantra of just do your job.
Yeah.
It's just the Bills' way of saying it. It's not a shot at nobody. Like, stop trying to... Like, the media wants to push this Diggs and Allen rift so bad. Maybe Diggs feels a certain type of way. I don't know, possibly. Maybe... I don't think Allen feels a certain type of way. I think Allen just said, listen, this is what we're doing. This is it. This is what I got. I'm the leader now. I'm 28 years old. I'm going into the bulk end of my contract. I'm stepping up. That's what I'm doing. I don't think he gives a... Excuse my language. Cover the kids. I don't think he gives a shit what Stefon Diggs is doing in Houston. I don't think he cares. He cares about who's in this building right now. That's what matters to him. As a franchise quarterback, you don't have time to worry about the outside noise. You don't have time to worry about what somebody else is doing if they're not in the AFC East. I'm just being honest about it. James, you've been in NFL locker rooms. You know how much time it takes to be an NFL player, but you know how much extra time it takes to be a franchise NFL quarterback. There ain't none. Okay? If your name ain't Haley Stanfield, he doesn't give a shit. Just being honest. It is what it is. But that's what I felt like. I didn't feel like it was a shot. I just feel like it's the media making money. And that's their job. That's what their job. I'm not going to knock them. It's what you're supposed to do. So, for me, no shot at Diggs, no shot at Davis. I don't think he cares. Hopefully those guys will be friends again one day. I don't know. I mean, it seems like Diggs is going to push the narrative. It may not happen, but neither here or there. But, hey, we got a special guy with us. We got a guy, International D-Dot, on with us tonight. And I definitely wanted to talk about, let's see if I can get this camera right for us really quick. D-Dot is, we would call him, an offensive specialist, okay? And I really wanted to get his opinion on, as I'll move Mal down to the bottom here, of the offense that Joe Brady has been running so far through 3 games, what he's been doing, what you're seeing. And I also want to talk about is everyone sustainable? And then we have a Khalil Shakir conversation with James Cook as well. So moving on, talk about the Joe Brady. His offense seems to be scoring at will. Last 2 weeks, completely unstoppable. The second half of the Cardinal game, completely unstoppable. What is he doing differently to get everybody involved? And what are you saying?
Yeah, so what I see from Brady is, one, I feel as though he's making Josh Allen's keys way more simpler, right? And if you could look at it from even the pre-snap motion, when the Bills last year, I don't want to take a deep dive into last year. It was we're in the 2024 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
But last year when they started with Dorsey, there was some movement, maybe you slide a tight end or something like that. But this year, it's crazy, and it's not even just some extravagant motions. It'll be you move it back, you hop it back to the other side. You'll have a receiver come across the motion or something like that, a tight end. And all that does is that allows Josh Allen. I know that people say this over and over and over again. It allows him to identify whether it's zone or whether it's man. Now the thing though with it is, if you're sliding a guy, sometimes defense can pass over, or even if it's a matchup defense, right? If it's a matchup defense, guys can if they're traveling with the guy or something like that, you may think it's man, but it's actually a zone, and they're just able to flip it. But with the way that I've seen Brady composing this offense and actually having these different motions to help with these keys, he'll move one guy and then he'll move another. And then you'll see the defense shift, and then it's kind of like you'll see a light bulb go over Josh Allen's head where he's like, okay, there you go. And perfect, and also what I'll point to is I don't know if you guys remember, but Brady mentioned Josh and how he had to talk with Josh and how to read defense, how to go through his progressions. Okay. And he actually helped them change that and actually get better at that. And I think a key point in how Josh was, if you guys remember, was that Khalil Shakir touchdown play. There was a double move by Keon Coleman on the boundary. He had I think he had an out and up, right? Josh, he could have tried to hold that and try to throw a back pylon, make a back pylon throw. We already know he has the arm talent to do it. He could have hit Keon Coleman. Keon actually had a step on the defender, but he let that area clear. And who replaced him? Khalil Shakir. Got the ball to Shakir. Very friendly ball, man. Shakir. We already know what else happened after that. It's just been tremendous. I love just how Brady has been able to do that, and also he protects Josh from hurting himself. Mal already mentioned it, running the ball to set up the pass. And it's been beautiful, man. I love what Brady has been doing for Josh in the offense.
How much do you believe if you could give a percentage, and I know it's kind of a percentage on this I'm going to ask, but if you could put a percentage on, how much more did Brian Dable and Ken Dorsey put Josh at risk and in danger of being injured with what they were calling compared to Joe Brady?
Man, in comparison to Brady, yeah, that's tough. With the way that Josh is playing now, with them leading with the run, quite honestly, I would just to throw a figure out there, I would say a 70% chance more.
Okay.
Of putting Josh in danger.
That's Dorsey and Dable put 70%. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, more than what Brady is, at this point. And I mean, and you could see Josh is way more decisive with the ball. And sometimes you got to call that. You got to call that. That play where it's like, hey, we're going here, like the tunnel screens, how we saw with Curtis Samuel. We also saw when Diggs was running those, he wasn't really too enthused about running those. And I actually find that funny because he was actually running a couple of them in Houston. But that's neither here nor there. But getting at, tunnel screens to Curtis Samuel, tunnel screens even to, Dalton Kincaid, getting the ball in the playmaker's hands and letting them go to work, right? Trying to draw that defense up so then you can go over top with it. And we also know, one last thing, we also know Josh is a very visual passer. I believe that Brady, the work that he's done with Josh is like, okay, hey, this guy vacates, this window will now open, throw through this window, as opposed to Josh waiting for that window to open. He now knows that vacates and he's able to go there.
I mean, I think you see a big difference in him. I think, you spotlighted Joe Brady. And I actually didn't know that Joe Brady said that he worked with him about going to progressions. I think that we definitely see there's a lot different. I think if you go back, was it the first week or the second week? When he checked out the Matt Collins, saw the blitz coming, threw right behind the blitz. Was it the Cardinals game? Touchdown Matt Collins?
I believe that was the Cardinals game.
That's something.
It was.
That's something we wouldn't have seen from Josh a couple years ago, probably.
Yeah, because Buddha came down in the book, in the box, yeah.
And just speaking, what are you seeing from the Bills' running game that may be a little bit, just maybe a tad bit different?
Man, I think what I think it is with the running game is there's oftentimes you could set up the mentality of your team and like how your team approaches things, right? We know the guys in the trenches, we know they like to get after. They want to be the hammer instead of the nail. So honestly, I haven't been able to take a look at the all 22 to see, if there's any kind of scheme differentiation with it. But oftentimes football is an emotional sport, right? If you could get in there and you could say, hey, you know what? We're setting the tone. We're resetting the line of scrimmage. We are going to meet these guys halfway and we're going to push them a quarter more back. That gives your guys a more of a type of feel. You know what I mean? It gives them more of a push right there. So even when they got to get into their passing sets, their pass blocking sets, now they can anchor a bit, you know what I mean? Because they've already got that. They've already got that. All right, I'm gonna go at these guys as opposed to, okay, I have to catch everything. So I think that's tremendous how he's been able to set the tone with that. I think that is underrated.
And Mal, I'm gonna come to you. The Joe Brady offense, obviously. Just speaking about offensive line play, how much do you think Aaron Cromer's influence now, being in year 2, is showing? Having a whole season, then a whole off season, and whole training camp.
It's showing big time. When you kind of look at and one thing you got to do, JT, you talked about this offensive line and losing Mitch Morris and moving over Connor McGovern to center. You didn't like that. This offensive line looks so much better than last year's offensive line. It's really showing, not that Mitch Morris was bad,
right?
But he did take a step or two back,
right.
He's still a productive good center, but
I'm sorry.
This line is way better than last year's line so far.
Yeah, 100%.
It's way better, and honestly, it's looking like we were smart for signing Spencer Brown when we did, because the way he's playing. If he would have hit the open market, just like what I told you, if they had to let Ed Oliver hit the open market. You remember me and you was going back and forth about that dollar amount. That dude would have got way more than what we paid him. And I feel the same way about Spencer Brown. He would have got way more. He would have been the top. I guarantee you, he'd have got the highest. He'd be the highest paid right tackle if he'd hit free agency.
Yeah.
They would have paid him that way. And I think the way this offensive line is playing, you can damn near do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think you can. Then the running backs, let's not take away. Ray Davis is elite run blocking. That rookie is elite run blocking.
Right.
James Cook has improved as a pass blocker. He's an elite pass blocker. James Cook has improved as a pass blocker, and he's pretty solid. And Ty Johnson, we know he can pass block as well. So you got running backs. Whenever you're in the passing game, it's almost like max protection every time because your running backs can fit against any linebacker that's going to blitz. So you can account for 6 people right off top. So that changes a lot of different things. And then you got some guys that can get open. Changes a lot, man. It really does.
And you know what? Just going back to Mitch Morris thing. Now, just to correct, Mitch Morris, I said to move on from Mitch Morris 2 years ago.
You did.
I said to move on 2 years ago. Even when they signed the 1-year extension, I said move on back then. I always say he was one concussion away from literally have to retire. I was kind of against moving Connor McGovern to center because I thought that the guy Von Prague could have started immediately with all his SEC experience. So my thing was setting the stage to have your center for the next 12 years.
Yep.
Having your Jason Kelsey and not moving McGovern because I actually liked the job McGovern did at guard last year. Now I would say I'm pleasantly surprised by the job that David Edwards is doing. I will say that, and I'll tip my hat to him. He's doing a hell of a job over there. But I think overall, just once again, over the last couple of years, we never could use the word balance. I think the biggest thing is just the balance we have in not being so predictable, the motions, the different sets we have. Like you said earlier, the tunnel screens, doing different things, just letting people make plays, taking the 4 and 5 yards to play if we have to, instead of getting to 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, trying to use Josh Arms to bail us out. Because not for nothing, okay? Brian Dable got a head coaching job off pretty much exploiting Josh Allen. And the job he does as a coach is showing in New York. It ain't very good.
Not at all.
Okay? Not for nothing. Our guy Ken Dorsey is over there in Cleveland. And listen, that shit is a mess over there. Ken Dorsey right now is looking at this offense and going.
He might.
Slamming everything. Going literally insane watching this offense.
He might
okay?
be. He might be going back to being a quarterback coach soon.
It's coming. And it's coming sooner or later. So, like I said, end of the day, hats off to Joe Brady and his offense. Joe Brady's looking at a head coaching job at some point if this continues.
Absolutely. Now, think about this, JT. We probably got 8 starting offensive linemen on this team.
Yeah.
8 of those guys can start damn near on any team. Our starting 5. That rookie center.
Could start somewhere. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's his name? Alec Anderson?
Probably could start somewhere.
And I'm forgetting one. I counted 8 yesterday. Anyway, we got 8 starting caliber offensive linemen on this team. That's special.
Yeah, it's very special. All right,
Garage going to be good too one day.
One day. You know, I actually got a stat for you guys, right? So I was looking up the Bills' targets. So far, and I told you guys earlier, Josh Allen has completed 75% of his passes this season, which is absolutely insane, okay? We only have 71 targets through 3 games. Through running backs, tight ends, everybody, 71 targets. Stefon Diggs in 3 games through last season, through the first 3 games, had 31 targets alone. So what I will say about this offense is Stefon Diggs may not have been, but was turning into a cancer. And Gabe Davis, great team guy, willing blocker, was an anchor. We were limited of what we could do with this offense with those 2 guys on the football field because we knew we had to force feed Diggs and we knew we couldn't depend on Gabe. So you got rid of a cancer and you got rid of an anchor, and this is what's showing. It's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. But moving on, I want to before we lose you, D-Dot, I want to talk about James. Actually, I'm going to come James Cook. Let me go to you first, James. When we go to James Cook, I want to talk about will everyone eats be sustainable throughout 17 games in the playoffs?
110%. The thing is, with an offense, you always have to find an answer to the defense, right? If you could dictate, or if you could key on what the defense is trying to do, how the defense is defending, then you are at an advantage. That makes it harder for a defense to defend you when they don't know where the ball is going to go. You know, we assimilated to how did the Warriors eat. You know what I'm saying? I know different sport, you know what I'm saying, different way, you know what I'm saying, moving. But how the Warriors eat, you know what I mean, even without KD. Ball movement, man. We already know Steph crazy and everything like that, but ball movement. They had system, motion offense and everything. Boom, boom, boom. You didn't know where the ball was going to go. You didn't know who was going to pull the trigger on that. Honestly, I really feel as though it's the same with the Bills, man. You don't know if Khalil's going to, catch a crosser and take it for 30, 40, 50. You don't know if, Keon Coleman is going to, push vertical. You don't know if Curtis Samuel, who's the chess piece, you know what I mean, is going to be moved somewhere, and all of a sudden he just pops up out of nowhere, and it's like, man, we got to account for this dude. James Cook, you know what I mean? If I were a defensive coordinator, honestly, I would be ready to do some very, very bad. I always have some very bad thoughts as far as, you know what I'm saying, continuing with that, that career path, man, because it's got to be maddening, man. It's got to be.
Yeah.
110% sustainable, man. I don't see that. I don't see that, especially even when the cold weather starts hitting. I don't see that being non-sustainable whatsoever.
Yeah. Mal, would you say that this is probably the most versatile offense we may have had?
So far, without saying yes.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. I mean, when you name the people who have contributed so far in these 3 games, you got to say that, right? And then I just think that everyone eats thing. Me personally, like with our teams that D-Dot and I coach, our travel 7-on-17 and our youth football team, right? We don't believe in. We've been doing this for years, right? We've been coaching together 10 plus years now. And there's never just one person dominating the ball, right? You spread the ball around, you give defenses headaches, you keep everybody involved. And that keeps everybody engaged. That gives the defense, more of a headache. Like, hey, it's going to Diggs this time. No, it may go to Hollins. It may go to Samuel, right? It may go to James Cook. Ty Johnson ran a corner route and scored yesterday, y'all. Like, that's your 3rd string running back, ran a corner route and scored a touchdown. The team trusted him enough to run a corner route to score a touchdown, right? And you got the rookie, Keon Coleman. I love the way what they're doing with him. They're bringing him along slowly, if y'all realizing it or not. And he's gonna be more and more effective as the year going. They're not just throwing a ton on his shoulders like, all right, we need you to be the guy right now. So think about it. When everybody wins Super Bowls. If you think about New England and their dominance, right?
Yeah.
When they had the boss, they ain't won the Super Bowl. When they had Boss Moss, they ain't won the Super Bowl. But they won them with the others. When you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they had a great team, don't get me wrong. But when
nothing that scared you on paper, though.
Huh?
Nothing that scared you on paper.
Never. And they won multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And these guys produced. Everybody spread the ball around. It's like, man, they don't got a 1,500-yard receiver.
Yeah.
A 1,500. None of that. They distributing the ball. It's team football, right? And it's funny we talking about this because D-Dot and I talk about this with our youth team. Our team is like that right now. We got so many different guys that can make plays. The Bills remind me of what we have. And it's just the key thing is, as an offensive mind, is figuring out how those pieces are going to work. And Joe Brady's doing a great job of that right now.
Yeah. I happen to think in this NFL it is sustainable. And I think the reason it's sustainable specifically with this team is honestly just the speed factor. Like I said, we talked about this for multiple years. This by far is the fastest Bills offense that the Bills have. So it's 0 to 100 really quickly. It's 0 to 100 with James Cook. Mm-hmm. It's 0 to 100 with Khalil Shakir. It's 0 to 100 with Curtis Samuel. If you sleep on Marquez Valdez-Scantling, it's 0 to 100.
He can run.
And you have 2 athletic tight ends in Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox.
I was going to say, Kincaid is a mismatch for any linebacker.
And you better not put a linebacker on him.
Yep.
And I don't think teams have done that so far this year, personally. Travis says, you guys are overcomplicated. It's the glove. Allen has involvement to Pete Tom Brady with the glove for the right to go.
Listen, the one thing I'll say about the glove, though, man, is I'm getting a little. I hope it heals up quick and he gets rid of whatever discomfort he had. Because those handoffs, man. No, he had it, bro. Nah, I don't care if it's the glove. Nah, man, heal up, man. Get those handoffs right.
What the hell? The Jizz administrator says the Bills may have a cold front, but there's a warm front my pants right now.
Yo.
Yeah, anybody know him? I'm not gonna claim. I know that. I know that guy. I don't know that.
I wouldn't admit it even if I did.
I don't know that guy, man. I don't know that guy, man. Oh man, hey Jesus. Okay, I just lost my train of thought there. But no, man. No, I think it's gonna be sustainable. I think this team is having fun, and this may be the shock team that finally gets it done. I'm not gonna knock on. I'm not gonna knock on wood. I'm not even gonna start that conversation. I'm not even gonna go there. But just saying, this could be that type of deal. So, as John Madden say, speed kills. But I want to talk about a little bit before we let you go, D-Dot, is Khalil Shakir and how reliable he's been. Now, obviously, I know my guy has been training hard down there with my buddy Eric Motes down in North Carolina. He's been training for 3 years, and I've had some pretty good conversation with Eric about his training and things like that. And if you guys know anything about E80, as we like to call him, E-Modes, I mean, first of all, I was with Eric in D.C. last year. I didn't go to the game, but we're all hanging out and meet him, Lee Evans, and those guys. Eric still like he can play. Okay? He can play linebacker, but he can play. And he trains for all sports, and he just talks about and raves about the work that Khalil puts in. And I think that we're seeing it. And I know, James, we've been saying for 2 years, the dude should have been on the football field. He should have been on the football field a lot more than he's on it than he has been anyway. So this is not a surprise to us or a shock. It's something that should have been done already.
Now it makes you wonder, why the hell was Gabe Davis playing over him?
And that brings me back to the other point earlier in the game when I said, did Josh Allen take a shot at Diggs and Gabe Davis? No, he couldn't have, because he was a part. If he's taking a shot at them about how things are run, then he's obviously taking a shot at himself as well. His hands ain't fully clean in this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's just be honest. But reliable, sure hands, and a playmaker. Before we let you guys do that, what are you seeing for Khalil Shakir this year?
Man, I don't see anything different. I just see more opportunity. You know what I mean? We've seen flashes of it. I'll take it back to the Jets game where he caught, well, I think it was a skinny post. He caught that skinny in front of Sauce, and he housed. Man, after that, it was just like, yo, this dude's got juice, man. He's got juice. And we you mentioned even JT, and I've heard you guys saying, previous episodes before, like, why wasn't he getting playing time? You know what I mean? And you would see glimpses of that, and then all of a sudden next thing you see him on the sideline, and it's like, yo, what gives? You know what I mean? Like, what's really going on here? So as far as like Shakir is concerned, man, I see a guy that could win at all three levels. Like, people look at his size. This dude is a 4'3" guy. You know what I'm saying? He can fly. You know what I mean? He can fly, and it seems though he's good at setting guys up, with their leverages, being able to get to whatever landmark he's got to get to, and using their leverage to his advantage, and then being able to, get into his route and you just being able to make plays. So winning at all three levels, man, I see this dude just being, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. And even with the crosser that he took to the crib. Now, the only thing that scared me about that, though, was when he got hit by the DB at the end.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I was like, yo. Yeah, man, listen, man, I meant to mention that to you earlier. I saw that, and I was like, yo, please get up. And once he got up, and once they showed the replay, DB hit him more so on the thigh. I thought he caught the knee, though.
Oh, they're going to the end zone, yeah.
Yeah, when he spun around.
Did you feel like that hit was unnecessary?
No.
Nah, I didn't.
No? Okay. I just wondered. I mean, I looked at it, and it was borderline for me. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, your job, because you think about it, he spins right at the goal line.
Yeah.
Right? And as a DB, your job is separate man from ball. You know what I mean? So think about it, that DB comes through, and let's say he spins, and then he comes and he clears him and he fumbles. We're talking about how, how crazy of a play that is. You know what I mean? So, no, but I was a little shook until Shakir got up, man. But I love what I've seen from him, man. I think he's going to be just as we keep going throughout the season, man, making more plays.
Right, and you know what? Just because I know our guy Cody asked, where is he lined up? Cody, I always got your back, so you want to know where he lined up this over the season. He has lined up 75 times in the slot, 19 times on the boundary, 1 time in the inline, and 4 times in the backfield this season so far. So that has been his alignment so far this season. So, yeah, mainly the slot. Okay? Now, James, coming to you. As you normally say, this guy's a baller. What you got for Khalil Khalil Shakir.
Once again, he's a baller. Talk extension with him now.
Absolutely. We talked about this on the phone. Absolutely.
I'm not for messing around with people with extensions. You know, guys who can be a part of this core, who you want, you know, you can win with. And even if he don't turn out to be a number one guy, he's going to be productive for a long time in this league. Guys like that, why even mess around with it? Sign him. Like, why would you wait the next year and the next year, then you figuring out, oh, what's the number? Listen, pull him aside now. Hey, we got 4 years, 40 million. I'm just throwing a number out there. 4 years, 40 million for you. What you trying to do? You got 28 guaranteed. What's up? You think you gonna turn that down? Nah. You know, and then you know, I think you go ahead and lock him up. I don't think you play around with it. Just go ahead and do it. Period.
Yeah. As you said about the last two guys, if you wait, it's gonna cost you a lot more. Today's price is not tomorrow's price.
Him and Russo, lock him up, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think if you get Shakir now, you get him for a little bit cheaper. I'm just gonna say this about him. It's about time. It's about time someone screwed their head on correctly and put him in the game all the time. Okay, when the Bills drafted him, this was one of my favorite picks in that draft class. Okay, this is a guy, he just knows how to play football. Played for all 4 years at Boise State. Had over close to 3,000 yards receiving. Added almost 500 yards rushing. This is a guy who knows how to play football. He's a football player. There is no definition you can give him. I'll give you one player that I compare him to. Golden Tate. He reminds me a lot of Golden Tate. Put him on the football field, wherever you want to put him, and he's going to make you plays. I like to see him avoid some of these hits he's taking. He's taken a couple each week already. But he's fearless. He's going to go across the middle. He does not care. He's almost like a throwback receiver. I'm going to go on a kamikaze mission across this middle of the field, and I don't care what happens. I'm holding on to this ball. And if you hit me as hard as you want, I may not even go down. I may get up and keep running. Because we've seen this before. Okay? So, it's about time. I agree with you, James. I would get an extension done sooner than later. I just think that as the season goes on, he's averaging about 53 yards a game right now. He may hit that 1,000-yard mark.
I think and it would not shock the 1,000-yard mark.
Would not shock me at all. And the more he continues to get the ball, the more you're going to have to watch him on defense. The more it's going to open up Kincaid. The more it's going to open up Curtis Samuel.
Yep.
So, but hey, D-Dot, I want to say appreciate you joining on for tonight. I'll probably have you on next week too, but we'll do this repeatedly so you can give us this in-depth office analysis. But man, any final words before y'all here?
No, man. Listen, as always, I appreciate you guys having me, man. Even when I'm not on, you already know I'll be on here in the comments, man. Cracking up at JT and you know what I'm saying, and Mal. But man, appreciate you guys, man. And hey, whenever you guys are, want to have me on, I'm more than willing, man. And man, you guys just, you know what I'm saying, keep killing it.
Yeah, we could do weekly office analysis. I ain't got no issue with that. You know,
I ain't got no issue with it neither. You know what I mean?
We'll see you next week. Then hopefully we 4-0.
No doubt, bro. All right, y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate it, D. Catch you later. Thank you.
All right.
But yeah, no, James. I think moving on, we got to talk about the run game a little bit and James Cook. And obviously, this is I'm gonna let you have it. He continues to set the pace for the Bills' offense early. He's the reason that we're getting out to these leads.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the stats from yesterday's game, only about 30, 40 yards rushing. And I would assume just by watching the game, he had more yards than that. But the impact.
Yes.
The impact is there. What are you seeing from your man Cook, man?
He's putting the offense in great positions. He's not losing yards. He's gaining positive yards, right? So you give the ball to him on first, he get 4 yards. 2nd and 6, as a play caller, changes a lot as opposed to 2nd and 9.
Yeah.
That dude is putting the offense in some great positions, and I really, really like it. He is very, very special. If you watch, he's different than his brother.
Not the same, right?
But he's special. So I believe Delvin was a lot more physical. But this dude, he's improved so much running between the tackles. It's not even funny. I don't think people really appreciate that. I was tough on him that first year. He wasn't effective running the ball in between the tackles. That dude running the ball in between the tackles is efficient and he's tough. I love what I'm seeing out of James Cook, man. I really do.
Yeah. One run that struck me last night. I think he had about a 12-yard carry, and he was patient getting to the hole. He picked this lane, he went, then he busted outside and got another 4 or 5 yards and 4 or 6 yards. And I said, Mallory would be proud of that.
Yep.
Just the patience, the vision. They said on the broadcast last night, and I don't know if you caught it. They were talking about Thurman talking to him and how Thurman specifically talking about how hard he works. Thurman Thomas, Bills Hall of Famer. And they say in that practice, he used to do a run, and he'd end the run 7 yards past the end of the play. Now he's running 25.
Yep. That's how you practice.
What does that tell you about him?
He's preparing his body properly, right? We're all, muscle memory, developing that muscle memory for big plays and be able to be in the right shape, get in game shape, right? And being able to just practice, success, right? We don't want 5-yard runs. Okay, if I pop pass, we got to get to the linebacker. Let's take this to the house, right? A la the Miami game. Those are practice habits, man. That's the way you prepare and practice, and that dude is doing a great job of it.
The great Michael Jordan, greatest of all time, once said, you have to envision yourself doing it before you do it. Because once you envision it, it becomes easy because you've already done it in your mind.
Absolutely.
So, I'm ecstatic about this guy. Like I told you when we drafted him, I was happy, and I remember talking to my guy Zach Moss, when he was here, and he said specifically, this guy is the Bills' future running back. He said he is it, and he said Cody said, as can't remember, was it Cook that didn't have a lot of wear and tear in college. Cody, that's exactly who it is.
Yep, he didn't have a lot of wear and tear.
He had hardly any tread on his tires. Which now, when we talk about giving him an extension last week, I have no issue giving him an extension. He probably got more carries in NFL right now through 2 years, basically 3 years, than he had in all the years of college.
Yes, 100%. That's not even close. It's not even close.
And they never had him pass block. They didn't really have him receiving downs. He was just an extra weapon at Georgia. So I love to see it. Like I said, this is when you talk about the evolution of Josh Allen and the evolution of Joe Brady's offense, it starts with James Cook.
It does. It all starts with James Cook.
Yeah. It affects both parties significantly. Because it creates what Sean McDermott has been screaming for. Balance. We need balance. Dorsey didn't listen. Dable didn't listen. They didn't want to listen. Gabe Davis didn't want to listen. Stefon Diggs didn't want to listen. And Josh Allen went along with everybody else who not wanting to listen. You're reaping the benefits of just simply having balance. And it's not just balance. It's not just some power back to get you 4 yards. It's the guy that can score at any moment. That's dangerous balance. So, well, moving on. I want to talk about the Bills' defense a little bit. We'll talk about defense about 5 minutes, and we'll talk about the Ravens, and we'll get off air here. It's getting late. The Bills' defense, once again, shut down another opponent. If you want to go through the numbers and the stats, we gladly can. Jaguars, 239 yards total offense last night, 2 turnovers, 19 first downs. ETN, 68 yards. Christian Kirk, 79 yards, mostly in garbage time. Trevor Lawrence, higher paid Trevor Lawrence than Josh Allen. 21 of 38, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. What else do you want to say about this defense, man? I'll give you some more stats too before I come to you. Okay. The Bills' defense is allowing 286 yards a game right now. Only 168 passing yards per game right now. 108, 18 rushing yards, and they've accrued 11 sacks, which is best for fifth in the league. They've accrued 4 interceptions, which is fourth best in the league. And points against, they've given up 26, which is best for 7th in the league. No Micah Hyde, no Jordan Poyer, no Matt Milano right now, no Terrell Bernard, no Teron Johnson. What in the universe is going on?
This is what's dangerous about that defense right now. And you owe Dorian Williams an apology because he is balling.
I do.
I told you he was one of those dudes that needed reps to be better.
I do. I'm picking up in fantasy this week too.
Think about how scary this is. you funny. Think about how scary this defense is. You got Ingram getting valuable reps in the slot. Taron Johnson's an all-pro. You got Terrell Bernard, Matt Milano, who will be coming back. Hopefully, Milano. You got Spector and Dorian Williams getting valuable starter reps. Like, that's dangerous when you think about it. Like, them dudes are, like, battle-tested, ready, like, and they going to be coming off your bench. So it's like, it's just making you just so much better all the way around. It's not even funny, right? It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like, wow. And we talking about, we getting an all-pro back. And Terrell Bernard,
borderline.
Damn good
Yeah.
player. He was Pro Bowl material last year. That's crazy when you think about it. Von Miller, I told you I expect him to have 8 to 10 sacks this year.
And we got 3 now, right?
Yeah, he had 3.
That's 3.
I love how Russo's playing. AJ is playing well. So I love what they in those corners. People are not talking about those corners enough. Them dudes balling, man. Them dudes are balling, man.
Different attitude in the secondary.
They balling. So I'm loving what I'm saying. The defense is scary. And when you playing with so many backups, Spector, playing with some backups, man.
One thing I'll say about these cornerbacks, they ain't friendly.
Mm-mm.
In the past, I've said this, we've had friendly cornerbacks. I know it's a violent sport, but they're friendly. You know, they're not talking. They're going to let you know.
Yep.
They're going to get in your face. The secondary right now reminds me of the Legion of Boom cornerbacks. I'm not saying the entire secondary. I'm talking about just in your face. We're going to punch you in the mouth. We're going to slam you down. We're going to hit you hard, and we're going to let you know about it.
Yep.
That attitude is, we've been saying for years, that's what this team has been missing. That type of attitude.
Absolutely.
And now I say you got it in the front 4, and you got it in the second in the cornerback room. I don't know about the safeties yet. Not quite too sure about that yet. I know Taylor Rapp would knock your head off if he gets a chance, but another guy I want to talk about. I just said last week, wait till we get Javon Solomon.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the 4th guy. You saw it in preseason. You thought it through camp. He's your 4th guy, and he's going to be the best 4th guy you've had in a long time. Even in 5th some nights. He gets healthy. Huh?
I like him. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
He gets healthy. He plays one game. He gets a strip sack versus Mac Jones.
Did they count as a strip sack?
I'm pretty sure they did. It's a strip sack. It got to be a strip sack. It's a strip sack. So, like you said, it's valuable reps. But if you go back to the Kansas City playoff game last year, and I keep saying this, if Terrell Bernard was healthy and he plays in that game, there may be a big difference in that game. Instead of having A.J. Klein, who was on his way to Disney World in retirement, come play. If, knock on wood, if we get that far again, that shall happen again. Like you said, valuable reps. We got guys that are plug and play ready.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. I thought the defense was doing a hell of a job. And then it was nice to be able to see the young guys get in there and put backups in like it was a preseason game.
Absolutely.
In-game reps, Monday Night Football, primetime game. Like you said.
Sneaking Cole Bishop in some reps.
Yep. Kyrie Elam.
Yes.
Almost got a pick 6.
He did.
Really, really close. So, but can't really say much about this defense. I mean, they're balling out. The defensive line is playing well. You got the unsung heroes out there playing. Damar Hamlin got his first career interception last night. Everything's clicking right now. But once again, that's for right now. We know in this new age NFL, where preseason doesn't seem to matter to anybody, and that's why teams start off 0-3, because you don't want to play in the preseason. You don't want to work hard during camp. It does matter, but it doesn't matter to some in it shows results. The real season starts normally week 4, week 5. And this just so happens, week 4, we have a familiar face in the Baltimore Ravens. 1-2 Baltimore Ravens. Just came off a big win in Dallas, beating up on the Cowboys, almost blew it. But we've seen the Bills play the Ravens before, and with a comeback win, with the win that was not easy in them against the playoffs, we're going to Baltimore. What do you think about this game?
I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to get right to it. I feel good about it. They seem like they're searching for an identity. Not that it's going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be a difficult game. You cannot sleep on these dudes. These dudes are legitimate. I consider them Super Bowl contenders. I think we're going to win 24-16. Right?
Okay.
It'll be 30-16. But I'm gonna be humble. I'm going to say 24-16.
I'd say this. If you watched that game versus the Cowboys last week, which I did watch that game. Their running attack it's something special. No one wants to see a combination of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry running at you. It was hard enough stopping Derrick Henry with just Ryan Tannehill, let alone RPOs with Lamar Jackson now. Mind you, Zay Flowers on the outside, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, who never doing much. I got him on fantasy. He's killing me right now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The Bills need to get up early. If you can force them to have to pass, they are extremely beatable. Absolutely. They're not that type of team. But if you get down against them and let them just keep churning the wheels or running the football, that's the type of grimy, gritty game they want to play. Now, we talk about the Bills' defense as a whole, and it has been good. But their run defense have been completely middle of the pack. You cannot be a middle of the pack run defense versus this Baltimore Raven team.
Yeah.
Because they will not stop. So I would say that the Bills need to get up early, and they need to force them to turn them to a passing team. We have seen the Ravens melt completely when they have to become that. That's not what they are. That's not their identity. Does the game worry me a little bit? Of course. They're going to Baltimore. Baltimore's come off a big win. It's not an easy place to win, but we have won there.
Sunday Night Football.
That's it. So, I don't have a prediction for this game. I'm not. I'll give one. I'll give one. I'll say this. I think Buffalo wins this one 27-24. I'll say 27-24. The Ravens' defense is good, but I saw them get completely exposed by the Cowboys the second half of that game. Not even this whole second half. The middle of the third quarter to the fourth quarter, they got completely exposed. When the Cowboys took CeeDee Lamb off the field, and you really didn't know what the hell they were going to run. And I think that's very similar to Buffalo. With, as D-Dot was saying earlier, you have so many guys that are versatile, so many weapons, but yet it's game 4, and you really don't have any film.
Yeah.
There's very little film on this Bills offense. So I think that's where we can kind of catch them at. Josh has to protect himself, watch the hits. So once again, the defense has to get off the field on third down. You have to contain Lamar Jackson. We know that Sean McDermott has done a pretty good job in the past of containing Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Not even pretty good, a phenomenal job. So he'll have these guys ready. What only thing that worried me is the linebackers. Now this is where the two inexperienced linebackers worry me. Not about getting against Derrick Henry, but against compensating for Lamar Jackson and possibly underestimating Lamar Jackson's speed. Because I don't think either one of these guys have started or had reps against him live.
Let me tell you why I'm not as concerned with especially these two in this game. Spector is an old school linebacker. That A-gap to A-gap thing, that's him. That plays kind of into what they do in their inside run game. Dorian Williams can run. Now, Lamar Jackson is a different beast. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not just saying that. But this dude, it's not like athleticism is an opportunity for him. Athleticism is a strength for him. So this may actually play in his favor. So that don't scare me with these two guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah. We shall see, man. Bills playing good ball right now. They're 3-0. We're going on a 3-game road trip. I think we have them, we have Seattle, and we have the Jets.
Yep.
I'm looking to hopefully we come out of the road trip 2-3.
No. We go Ravens, Houston, Jets, right?
Yeah, Raven, Houston, Jets. Yep, you're right. Tough stretch. Really, really tough stretch. And this stretch right here can easily define the Bill season. You come out of stretch 5-3, you come out of stretch 6-0 if you really think about it, or you come out of stretch 3-3. These are tough opponents. Okay, none of these are gimme games, but I think you want to come out of the stretch at least two out of 3 if you can.
Yeah.
At the rest of the way, you control your destiny the rest of the way, and I think you're fine. So, on that, James, you got any last thoughts?
Nope. Let's keep it up, Bills. Let's keep turning out for them, Bills Mafia.
Hey, I got nothing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep winning these games. Keep putting this thing together. As always, 3-0. Go Bills. Appreciate my guy D-Dot coming on tonight. We'll have him back next week. And, we'll catch you guys later.